waves. The problem is when you call sound waves, you're thinking about it like electricity, right? Like light, this whole idea. But the fact of the matter is, it's actually compressed and decompressed air, right? You guys, who has stood in front of a big bass speaker or a subwoofer at a club and felt the boom, boom, boom hitting you? It's literally just push air at you. And every sound I'm making with my voice is air being, vibrating vocal cords, and the shape of the air is changing through my instrument, as we call it, and coming into your ears. That's why there's no sound in space, because there's no air to be compressed and decompressed to make those waves. But anyway, let's use the idea of waves because it's a more efficient way for us to talk about it. So when we talk about a sound wave going up, the air compressed, and then down, decompressed, right? There are only 4 elements that exist in sound. Sound has 4 fundamental dimensions. And this is important for you to know as a music director, it's important for you to know as an arranger, it's important for you to know as a singer. Let's talk about those 4 dimensions. What are those 4 dimensions of sound? Every sound. It could be a cricket chirping, it could be a piano, it could be people singing, it could be a jackhammer on the street. Throw them at me. What? Pitch, number 1. And what is pitch? Pitch is the frequency, right? The frequency, how quickly the higher pitch goes, is how quickly the wave is moving. This is a low note, basically, and this is a high note. Making sense? Or, more correctly, this is a low note, and this is a high note, if that wasn't awkward enough. Number 1 is pitch. Very good. Pitch, when connected to other notes, becomes melody. Pitch with other pitches at the same time is harmony. And that's a lot of what we do. The mixture of both melodic lines together and harmonic lines together. So, good. Pitch. What's number 2? Dimension number 2. Velocity. The speed of the wavelength is really what we were just talking about. That's the pitch. What else? The timbre. Ooh, he went right to the hard one. I was expecting someone to forget timbre. Okay. Timbre is a tough one, but we'll talk about it right now because you brought it up. Timbre is tone color, okay? The color of a sound is something you probably haven't thought much about. I mean, you can tell how a flute sounds different from a violin, sounds different from a piano. But why does it sound different? More importantly, why does it sound different when I sing, hey, oh? Okay? Those are the 4 dimensions of sound in there. The pitch was the same for each of those, and I'm going to tell you what the other 2 are. The duration of the note is one other dimension of sound. And when you have other durations of notes with silence in between, you end up with rhythm, right? And there's also loudness. How large is that wavelength? How much air is compressed in the speed of the compressing? That's volume, we also like to call that, right? Hey, oh. The pitch is the same, the duration is the same, the volume is the same. What's changing? It's the timbre. What is timbre? Overtones. The other sounds that are woven into the pitch. So, how many of you guys have heard of overtone singing before, experienced it at all? Okay. I'm not a great overtone singer, in part because I'm not one of those like really low basses, but I'll do my best anyway. If you play this note down here, you get an octave, then you get a 5th, then you get a 4th, which brings you back to the octave. Then you get a major 3rd. Then you get a minor 3rd. Then you get kind of a cruddy note that's kind of like a 7, but it's not quite our scale. And then you start getting all these other notes up there, and they all connect to each other. This is actually built into every note. And what's happening is when I'm shaping my vocal instrument differently, when I'm shaping the vowel sounds differently, it's actually emphasizing different overtones. So before, when I sang, right? I'll connect them. Same thing. I'm just singing vowels, right? Right? Let me give you guys 3 notes. Which one of these is the lowest? Great.
Aren't the lowest chords just being the cool guy? Okay.
So, how about if we sing a straightforward chord? Nope. Yeah. Let's hear you sing together. 3, 4. Okay, good. So let's play with the 4 different dimensions of sound so you can hear different ways in which the blend improves and unimproves. First of all, to get a really good balanced chord, you want to hear all of the primary chord factors cleanly. Now, I need one more volunteer to make this work. All right. A little more. You heard the difference between. The second thing you need to know about blend is it's not just about tuning, it's about balance. The relative volume level of the different notes matters. Okay? And there are also duration issues, but now let's play a little bit with timbre. So, say, I want you to sing ah, and I want you to sing aw, and I want you to sing ah. Make sense? 2, 3, 4. Great. Is at one necessarily perfect canonical ideal, but rather that they're together, right? Let's try all of you on aw. Just the 3 of you guys. 2, 3, 4. Now, it's not like one that's, because they've been one apart so far, right? They haven't had anybody challenging them for the dominance of their particular note. Let's go back to this note. And I know you can hold a pitch. No, up here. I want you to sing that note straight tone and not move a muscle. I'm going to sing with him, and then I'm going to slide my note up and then back down. It's going to make your teeth itch. It's really nice. You heard that, right? We call that beating. Like your ears are taking a beating. But what happens is when we're singing together the same pitch, it's clear. And then you start to hear this, right? What's happening is the 2 wavelengths are close enough together, the same way when you have light refracting through and you're seeing the different street. And then your ear, I come out the other end and I'm singing a different note, right? In some ways, 2 notes that are almost in tune but not precisely in tune create more dissonance than 2 notes that are further apart, right? That's kind of crazy. You guys want to try that all together?